A pleasant day, everyone. This is Leo Sinconyege. Here I am again, and I will be discussing the difference between pure virtue-based ethics and standard action-based ethics, as well as I will be explaining which I think for me is better. There are two general approaches to moral theories, namely the action-based approach advo- advocated by utilitarian and deontological philosophers, and a virtue-based approach defended by virtue theorists. In their most extreme forms, here are their principal differences, starting with virtue-based theory, or also called as the pure virtue-based ethics. This theory focuses on the fact that we should acquire good character traits, not simply act according to moral rules. And morality involves being a virtuous person. However, on the other hand, action-based theory or ethics states that we should act properly by following moral rules. And we judge people based on how they act, not on whether they are virtuous people. To further understand the difference between the two ethics, keep in mind that virtue-based ethics, or sometimes we call arctic ethics, centers in the heart of the agent, in his or her characters, and emphasize being rather than merely doing. The crucial moral questions for this approach is, what sort of person should I become? In contrast, action-based theories emphasize the need to act according to moral rules, such, 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 such as the utilitarian principle or the categorical imperative. And the central moral question for this approach is, what should I do? These theories are sometimes referred to as rules governed because of their emphasis on acting according to rules. Now, frankly speaking, the pure virtue-based ethics for me is better. I can say so simply because I do agree with the virtue-based theory, siding with. I do agree with their emphasis, as what my chosen theory says, we should acquire good character traits, not simply act according to moral rules. It is right because there is no essence in the following that moral rules if you didn't put it in your mind and heart. If you just simply follow it, then you are not sincere with it. If you are not sincere with it, then you cannot become a virtuous person. The second statement of the virtue-based theory is that morality involves being a virtuous person. I believe that you cannot follow the moral rules properly if it in the first place of your virtues isn't right, and if you have a bad character. So we should give importance to our character being good and as being a virtuous person for our action to be also morally right. If we only acting properly only for the sake of the following rules, then I think if we are put in a situation where there are no moral rules, then it would be a chaotic. But then if we are depending on the pure virtue-based ethics, which which says that we should be a virtuous person first and be able to acquire good character even if we are in a situations or place where there are no moral rules. We can still act properly and morally. That is why pure virtue-based ethics for me is better than the action-based ethics. Thank you, and that's all.